Welcome to the Bluegrass Sports Show. I do apologize to my fans if there's any out there. Didn't have the button-up on. Ran out of button-up shirts. They're all dirty. So, switching to the best T-shirt around.
I think he's had that since we were teenagers.
Except for that one, that one looks way older.
Well, I've had this one for
But it is Kentucky, so it automatically gets approval rates. But I am Carl.
I am the daddy.
He is Barry, the animal. I'm going to throw that in again. And we are the Bluegrass Sports Show, but we are something else, and that is...
the BS Show, where we're fat guys that talk crap.
I told you, every video. So, guys, in case you didn't know, what we do is... we're doing all sports, by the way. I know all of our videos up to this point have been basketball-related, but we are doing all sports. We just started with basketball. So we're going to talk about all sports, but today we're going to talk about our top 10 all-time players in the NBA. So this doesn't matter position. It's just literally your top 10, every position thrown in together, who you're going to pick. So
we going 10 to 1?
Yeah, we're going 10 to 1.
Okay.
We're going bottom to top. That's going to build the suspense. And, I mean, this one's going to bring up a lot of controversy.
I agree.
This one's going to be a great topic. If this video goes long, I do apologize. We seem to get going, and it's hard to stop. So, but makes for good TV, right, guys? Anyway,
You're up first.
I am up first with my top 10, and pulling up the rear is Bill Russell.
I don't even have... I have him on my top 10?
Perry did, to start, I'm sorry, I should have included this. I've had a cheat sheet every time I've made me a little list. Perry finally did for this video, and I'm so happy for him. He has moved up in the world. So, but on mine, I've got Bill Russell at number 10. And, you know, you talked about in our last video that you've got to give respect to him, and that's basically what this is. I'm putting him in the top 10 because of respect for him, but he's at number 10. And he could be kicked out of that number 10.
I don't respect him that much.
So, who is your number 10, Barry? Let's get into this.
My number 10 is my favorite of all time. I have Shaquille O'Neal.
Woo! At number 10.
At number 10. To me, there's... at the center, the center position is my favorite position. I find it to be the most important position. But...
maybe not today's time.
Well, maybe not today's time. But historically. But also, the Russell aspect, just, it is what it is. My argument for Shaq at number 10 is he's the most dominant presence of all time. Simply put.
Well, look, see what my thing is. I got Shaq higher.
Oh,
I got Shaq higher. Yeah, I'm so surprised that he's as low as number 10 on your list.
Okay.
That was my thing. So, I guess we're moving on to number 9. And the thing is, guys, we're not going to go a whole lot into each player because we did that in previous videos.
Exactly.
So, number 9.
Dr. J.
Woo!
Dr. J. That's where
that one's nice. I like it.
Where I have the doctor. Of course, he's
and he is not on my list.
Really?
Dr. J's not on there.
Dr. J is a pioneer for the modern player. You look at LeBron, and LeBron wore number 6 in Miami as a tribute to Julius Erving.
I mean, he's Dr. J.
Yes.
What else can you say? But he's just not, he's one of those that could easily replace Russell on my list.
Dr. J was, and this is something we didn't talk about previously, he was the PR face of the league.
Yeah, he still is.
Long time.
And you talk about Russell. Russell is, that's what he is too. And so, they're the same boat, but Dr. J still is.
I would argue that Dr. J replaced Russell.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And he did it while being an active player.
Yeah, but that's what, when you look at them two guys, for sure, them two guys are constantly brought up in conversations.
Correct.
And, spoken to about sports. And, which, everybody's got their opinions. Like I said, he could easily replace Russell on my list. So, for my number 9 is Larry Bird.
Okay.
Number 9 to me is Larry Bird. And I realize my list is going to be a lot different than your guys's. I've got a weird opinion, we'll say. But Larry Bird, we spoke about him before. He is one of the greatest players ever, easily.
Referred to as the Great White Hope. That's no joke.
Is definitely white.
That's what Boston called him, the Great White Hope.
And, I mean, hope that he'd bring a championship. And he brought multiple.
Boston was super racist that time, though. That was completely meant as it sounds.
Well, I mean, it's understandable. It's Boston.
Yeah.
Boston Tea Party. It's Boston. So they don't give a crap. But anyway, Larry Bird's the man. I mean, there's not much. That's what I'm saying. That's why we're not going into detail on every one of these guys, because we've already talked about them so much.
Larry Legend.
He is the boss. So we are going to move on to number 8.
You ready to punish me?
Maybe. But my number 8, is it mine first, right?
You just went with your number 8, didn't you?
No.
Oh, was Larry your 9?
Larry was my 9.
Okay, go ahead. You're right.
My number 8 is Timmy D.
Timmy D.
Timmy D. I've got him at number 8, and he could very well be higher on this list. All of these guys, I mean, you could easily move them up on the list or down. It depends. But, I mean, we talked about the big fundamental so much in our Power Forward video. He's just the ultimate professional, the ultimate teammate, and easily one of the guys that you should want as the face of the NBA. With his, I mean, just his knowledge of basketball and his professionalism. I mean, he could easily be the face of the NBA.
Agreed.
So, who's yours?
Wilt Chamberlain.
At number 8.
At number 8.
Oh, gosh. At number 8. Woo! Okay, but, I mean, from your arguments in the center video, I see why you would place him at number 8. I see that argument.
If you're making a top 10 of all time, the top 5 for each position, you're basing it on what they did at their position and their impact they had. If you're making a top 10 of all time, you're basing this on the elite of the elite.
True.
And while Wilt's individual statistic numbers are out of this world,
I know.
His lack of jewelry to go with that speaks for itself.
I agree.
I stick by what I said previously. I would take Shaq right now if I had to have a starting center to go against Wilt or go against Kareem or any of the others.
Let me ask you a question then.
But Wilt at number 8.
Why Wilt above Shaq?
Why Wilt above? Because of the statistical numbers, and how it matters historically within the league. Because you have the 100-point game, and just that image alone.
Which some people say Kobe's 81-point game was better than Wilt's 100-point game. He did shoot a better percentage.
The thing that you have with Kobe's 81-point game is that you have visual proof that it happened.
Oh, you have audio proof that Wilt's happened. There's audio recording, just no video.
Well, it is what it is.
But another thing is,
you can audio record. You could audio record me and you sitting here, but you can't prove we're here.
Sure. Well, okay. But another thing is, when we talk about the 100-point game, there was the fouling that was going on. They started fouling teammates of Wilt's every time down the floor. So to combat that, they started fouling their team so Wilt could score more points.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't happen in the 81-point game. It was just Kobe went out there and scored 81 points. So, I mean, I can see the argument that the 81-point game is better and that it was more of an accomplishment. But you got to give Wilt his credit. I mean, the guy scored 100 points.
Yes. That's why I have Wilt at 8. Now, as far as number 7.
And you're really going to hate. You're going to have a problem with mine, but go on.
My number 7, this is where I have Larry Bird. I'm like you, I have Bird farther down the list. And it's solely based on Larry Bird's fantastic. Once again, this top 10 list, any one of these guys you could build a franchise and win multiple times, except Wilt, multiple times down the line with.
Nice blow there. Nice blow.
Larry Bird at number 7 for me. And I think Bird, he was the second best player of his era. And to me, that kind of hurts him a little bit, in which it was a great era. But him being the second best player of the era
hurts him.
Slightly.
I mean, it does hurt him.
Yes. Still, all-time great. He's the second best small forward of all time.
Oh, yeah. We agreed on that.
With the asterisk being Grant Hill's knees and ankles. But that's
it is what it is. Yep. It is what it is. So
go ahead.
I do want to make one argument for Wilt that you keep bringing up against Wilt, and that is championships. we keep talking about Bill Russell and all these Hall of Famers on his team. That's who Wilt had to play. That's who he had to beat.
I understand.
So, I mean, we talk about Power Forward videos, Karl Malone's Jazz team being not as good as the Bulls team. That was Wilt's teams versus those Celtics. And one player is not going to make that much of a difference.
And that's why I put Wilt above him on the all-time centers list.
Right.
But the guys I have ranked above Wilt on this list.
But if he had won more championships, would he be higher?
Absolutely.
So if Bill Russell Celtics weren't there, Wilt would have been higher because he would have won more championships.
Possibly.
I mean, there's a very high chance of it. So, okay, now I get what and I just wanted to, the viewers to understand that point.
The gentlemen I have ranked ahead of Wilt Chamberlain are guys
they did it.
That
they've proven.
These are guys that I would ever want if I had them lined up in a line, build me a franchise around this guy.
Right.
I could make points while I could.
Right. I got you. But you could make points for Wilt for that too. But
yeah, of course.
So what are we on?
6.
We're on
Actually,
6?
You're on 7. You're on 7.
I was like, Lord. Okay, my number 7. No, I did 7 first with Timmy D.
Okay.
Yeah, you're number 6.
No,
that's where we're at. You're on number 6.
I'm pretty sure.
Because I started number 7 with Timmy D.
I'm pretty sure I just went into Wilt and Bird. So we're back to you at number 7.
No.
Yes.
Timmy D was my number 7.
Well, who's your number 8?
Huh?
Who's your number 8?
Larry Bird.
Okay. And Timmy D was your number 7?
I started the number 7s with Timmy D. Sorry, guys. This video, or all of our videos, actually, are not scripted. So these special moments that we have together, yeah, that's us being idiots.
Okay, so I'm number 6 now.
Yes.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and I will go with Tim Duncan at this spot.
Okay, I like it.
Tim Duncan to me is a top 5 player all time, but it was hard for me to put him in this top 5. And just he's a top 5 player, meaning that I would take him in the starting lineup, with being the all-time lineup. He would be in that starting 5. But he's at number 6 for me. Tim Duncan, he is what he is. He's a big fundamental.
We are wrong. I was wrong. You were right.
Of course.
Timmy D was my number 8.
Yeah, I tried to tell you this.
So
go ahead and do your 7, your 6, and your 5.
7.
The floor is yours.
Okay, my number 7 is Hakeem Olajuwon. Okay, I've got him at number 7. And, we talked before about the footwork and just the ability that he brought to the floor. He is leading career blocks, which if Wilt was recorded blocks, if Russell was recorded blocks, if Kareem was recorded his whole time frame, they probably would have beat him.
They would have.
But he's still top 5 in blocks.
Maybe not
on the career.
Well, maybe Russell and Wilt because
Russell was a defensive player.
Well, that and once again going back to the size of the opposition, they were not much as Russell as what it was with Wilt, but they were so much larger. Russell wasn't, but Wilt was so much larger than the people they were guarding.
But they were just so much physically gifted too.
Exactly.
I mean, when you
go ahead.
So, but he is, with history the way it is, he is the career leader in blocks. So defensively, he never lost anything either. We talked about his offensive game, but defensively, he's one of the best centers ever.
Yes.
So I mean, he rightfully deserves a spot on this top 10, I would say. But that moves me on to my number 6, which is the Diesel, Big Shaq Daddy. And it hurt me that you had him at number 10. It did. That hurt my heart.
I'm just trying to be biased.
No, I'm very biased. I don't care. If you don't like my opinion, sorry. So Shaq's number 6 to me as the second most dominant force the NBA's ever seen, and easily debatable as the first. But then nobody touches those two. He is that good. And was that good. When we talk about Shaq, we talk about his physical dominance. I've watched Shaq take it coast to coast. And with dribble moves and everything, I mean, he had it. Even as a big center, he had it. And later in his career, Shaq was lazy. Shaq, if you're watching this, you were lazy. So he didn't want to practice. He would go out in the game and still dominate and slack off in practice. He gained weight. If Shaq stayed his condition when he came into the NBA throughout his career, it's untelling how good he would have been. And that's why they say that Shaq could have done more.
Father Time is undefeated. And Father Time, I believe, defeated Shaq.
I don't think so. I think Shaq defeated Shaq.
I think it got to the point to where Shaq was so unhealthy with his ankles and his knees and his feet that he couldn't keep the weight off of him because he couldn't.
I don't think he tried.
He probably didn't to an extent, but
he could have been in better shape.
The big Wilt Chamberlain, the big Aristotle, so many nicknames. The big Cloverleaf.
He's something. But anyway, to go on with our list,
your number 5.
My number 5, and at this point, I've got MJ. But the MJ I'm talking about is Magic Johnson.
Oh.
So I've got Magic Johnson at number 5, and he is, Magic.
Douche. Well played.
He is Magic.
Well played.
And, like I said, if you go back to my point guard video, I don't have him as number 1, which is very highly debatable. But I said that Magic is the better player. That's why he's in my top 10. My number 1 point guard is John Stockton, is not. Because Magic was a much better player. So Magic is in my number 5 spot.
You ready for my number 5?
Yeah.
LeBron.
Woohoo! All right. And I can see that with what he's done to this point.
LeBron has done a lot to
this
point. It's what LeBron hasn't done.
That's what I mean. I mean, his championships and stuff and playoff runs.
LeBron's individual skill, you can make an argument to top the list. And a lot of people do. The Jordan to LeBron argument is real.
Yes.
I stand with Charles Barkley. LeBron, his accolades individually are very nice. He's a great on-the-court player. Unbelievable with what he can do. The numbers he puts up. But he's a different play style than what you have with Jordan,
yes.
or what you have with Kobe, or what you have with McGrady, or these other guys.
Yes.
He's going to have more assists because he's more of a Magic-based play style.
Right.
And just his offense is just brute. And you said it earlier. If he had a Shaq mindset with his offense, who's stopping him?
Nobody.
Exactly. That's why I have LeBron at number 5.
I've got him higher, but
I agree with Charles Barkley. While his individual numbers, and he will pass Kobe before it's said and done. I've got Kobe at 4.
I don't have Kobe on my list.
Oh, you're a fool.
I don't have Kobe on my list.
You're crazy. Kobe Bryant.
At number 4?
The 3rd all-time leading scorer. A 5-time NBA champion. He only won 1 MVP. LeBron's got 4. Kobe should have had more.
Yeah, so should have Shaq.
Well, yes. Kobe should at least had 1 more MVP, maybe 2. He averaged 35 points a game in a season.
I mean, if we're being
the Lakers to the playoffs.
There are multiple of these guys. Like we said, LeBron's won 4.
No, what, 4 MVPs?
Yeah,
yes.
He could have won more.
Voter fatigue is real.
He could have won more, but it's the same thing with all of them. Shaq should have won more.
My argument for Kobe.
And Kobe should have won more. I agree.
My argument for Kobe, that's why I have him above LeBron, where Kobe has needed to be the best player in the league, and he is needed to step up and be the door closer for his team to win championships. Yes, he only went to 7, and LeBron went to 7 straight. LeBron is the most epic collapse in NBA history, with the Warriors blowing a 3-1 lead, and he is Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Kawhi Leonard in a Ray Allen Miracle 3 in Game 6 back in 2014, I think it was, or 2013, from losing 5 straight finals. And the reason why they almost lost that game, because he had 3 straight turnovers with the lead, and the Spurs were up 4. And
look at who was guarding him. I mean, one of the best defensive players in the league.
Who? Boris Diaw?
Wouldn't Kawhi guarding him on those?
No, Kawhi was there, but Kawhi wasn't Kawhi then. Kawhi had only been in the league for 2 seasons.
No, but he was still. They just hadn't seen him yet.
He was still really good.
They just hadn't seen him break out.
He was still exactly. He had not developed to what he is now. But at that point in time, you had LeBron turn the ball over 3 straight possessions. The Spurs had a 4-point lead and couldn't hit free throws to ice the game. They had Miami beat in Miami. What I'm saying,
Curry done the same thing in the 3-1.
Well, it's whatever. We're not talking about.
I know, but we are. That's why I'm making my argument for LeBron. You say it's a collapse by the Warriors.
Well, it was a collapse by
Curry
the Warriors.
Done the same thing, but you're not giving LeBron his credit.
LeBron should get all the credit in the world for that. Okay. But it's a whole lot easier to blow a 3-1 lead than what it is to come back from 3-1. The Warriors blew that lead.
I agree.
They had 3 opportunities to win a game and couldn't do it.
I agree.
They were going against the best player in the world. Mm-hmm. The best player in the world is going to come to play.
Yeah, every game.
The Warriors blew that lead. What I'm saying is that LeBron is that close. The only championship, he's won 3 titles and lost 5.
Mm-hmm.
The only championship of his 3 that he's won that are definitive, that he was the better team, and they won without shadow of a doubt, was against the Thunder.
Yeah, I agree.
But he should have lost the other 2, and he's not been close in the others.
Well, I'm not going to say the Mavs Heat wasn't close.
It wasn't.
It was an okay series. I mean, no, the games, basis. I think the Mavs won in 5 games, Heat won 1, right? But
the Mavs won in 6.
6, but the games were close games.
Yeah, I understand.
That was a hard fought series, so that was a good.
But NBA LeBron had no impact on that.
But anyway, so he did lose 5 finals. I agree, or has.
He's lost.
But in one of those, he was by himself against 3 All-Stars.
So I'm tired of hearing that excuse.
It's not an excuse. If you can make the argument that the other teams lost those games, and that's why he won a title, you can make that argument that that's why he didn't win a title that year.
I understand what you're saying, but
that's not an excuse. I mean, you're making the valid argument both ways.
LeBron James,
when he's at a disadvantage, and you're counting the finals, one of the finals that he lost in 2007, when he was much worse team.
Well, it doesn't matter what the team was at this point. All that matters is that is a listing of him being in the finals.
Yeah,
his team was good enough to get to the finals.
Well, he made them good enough to get to the finals.
And the year that he lost Kyrie and Love didn't play in the playoffs. Kyrie played part of or most of Game 1 in the finals. The rest of the playoffs they played without both of them.
And LeBron carried them to the finals.
The team was good enough to get to the finals. So
because of LeBron,
I don't care. It doesn't matter at this point.
Gosh!
People act like it's LeBron and a bunch of freaking.
It was that year.
A bunch of milkshake blenders. That's what they act like.
And it was those 2 years.
The team was good enough to do their part to help him get there. But whenever he loses, he's surrounded by trash. But whenever he's winning,
was your argument not that the East is much weaker?
It is much weaker.
Okay, so for the fact that he made it to the finals, he was not playing as stout a competition.
He was not.
As what he meant in the finals. So his team was not good enough to get him over the hump.
My argument for LeBron in that, if LeBron was in the West, he's maybe went to 3 final stops.
I mean, maybe, but it depends on his team.
If you look at it from a basic perspective, he's beat the best team from the Western Conference only 3 times.
Right, that's true.
So if he played those same teams in the Western Conference Finals, he's lost.
You're saying if he took his team, all of his team, they went to the West.
Now, if he was on a different team in the West,
that's what I mean.
Exactly.
That's what I mean.
That's whatever. But if the team that he was on played in the West,
yeah, right.
That's what you're looking at, a completely different logistics of LeBron James's career.
I agree, but I mean, I do agree with that we're looking at him from the East, and we're only looking at him from the East. But he made 2 finals because he was in the East. That he wouldn't have made, and you wouldn't be counting against him. So he may have still made those finals if he was in the West, the other ones. But not those 2. Definitely not those 2.
Yeah.
And then he would be, what number? 3-3?
Approximately.
50%.
Well, it's 3-3 doesn't add up to 8, but I get what you're saying.
Well, he was 3-5. I'm counting those 2 out.
Okay. Gotcha.
So 3-3 if those 2 years he's not in the East.
Okay.
So he carried them to the finals and then got beat.
I want to make it clear. I think LeBron James will be better once his career is done.
I think he is better.
He will be at number 2. At least. Unless he just goes on his crazy run and wins 5 of the next 6 titles.
Well, yeah.
Which isn't going to happen.
Not with the Warriors.
No, not with the Warriors.
But where are we at? Hold up. We've got completely off talking. I do apologize, guys.
I just went through my number 4.
Who was your number 4, Magic Johnson?
My number 4 was Kobe.
Kobe. Yeah, that's right. Okay, my number 4.
Kobe won where LeBron lost.
Oh.
That's my argument.
Kobe debatably had better teams. But anyway, number 4.
Debatably, Kobe won and LeBron lost. So go ahead.
My number 4 is Kareem. Yeah, at number 4, I've got Kareem. And, just because I don't have him as my top, like I said, him and Wilt to me are right here. Kareem's great. There's no discount what Kareem did. So he is my number 4.
Okay.
Is it my number 3 now?
Yeah, it's your number 3.
And now, you said I was going to punch you in the face. The MJ is at number 3.
Well, I mean, it's your funeral.
MJ's at number 3. Now, I know. I mean, but I'm not, like we talked about before, this whole championship rattling crap off. I'm not that guy. I couldn't care less what your team did. It's what you did specifically. And I just think that he's not the greatest player ever by himself if you don't count the championships. He's not. Because his greatest aspect was his clutch gene, and then he won 6 championships. That's what everybody's argument is. He's 6-0 in the finals. I don't care. So, what? I mean, you can make an argument, right?
I'll make my argument here in a few minutes.
Go ahead.
I will assure you, viewers, he will be drug tested on the hour, every hour. My number 3 is Magic.
Okay.
This is where I have Magic. 9 finals appearances, he won 5. If you go through and you look at the players he lost to in the finals, he lost to Dr. J.
Jordan.
He lost to Jordan. He lost to Bird, and he lost to Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars.
Yeah.
I mean, he lost to arguably, of course.
And you don't have Isaiah Thomas.
No, I don't. I'm not denying Isaiah Thomas's skill. Isaiah Thomas is a top 10 point guard of all time. Isaiah Thomas is probably a top 25 player of all time. But Magic lost to great players.
Yes.
Magic was just a spectacle, man. And of course, he played a little bit after it in my lifetime, but just all that I have of him are just clips. And if you watch him, Magic is everywhere on the floor. Magic did everything there was to do. Magic wasn't a great defender, but he was a good defender. Magic was the best playmaker of all time, and he did it while making you look stupid.
And I'm sorry, but I want to bring up a combative point about LeBron. You talked about Magic losing to great players every time. So did LeBron.
Okay. LeBron's lost more than he's won. Almost.
So has Magic.
Almost. No, he didn't. He won 5 and lost 4.
Oh, well, it's close.
No, it's not close.
It is close. 5 and 4 is close anyway. But, okay, but he did. I understand he's lost more, but like I said, we're discounting 2 of those. If you're looking at it the right way, you're discounting 2 of those. Magic was the best player on the floor.
At all times. And it didn't matter who they played.
So was LeBron. And you can say he crumbled in the games. Having 3 turnovers, to me, that's not crumbling. That's just messing up. I mean, you're killing the guy for messing up.
Larry Bird would have never beat Magic Johnson if Magic Johnson didn't have moments where he crumbled. Magic had his moments as well.
But I don't consider him crumble. Messing up is one thing. I don't say he crumbled. No, I don't think LeBron crumbles under the pressure. If he did, he wouldn't win a title at all.
He doesn't now. But there was a time, there's a moment from an All-Star game, and I get it's an All-Star game, to where LeBron had the ball and a chance to win the game. And then at this point, at the end of All-Star games, those guys are playing, especially in close games.
Yeah.
Because they're prideful. And Kobe was guarding him. And Kobe, you could hear him, was screaming at him, take the shot. Take the shot. Be a man, take the shot. And LeBron,
but that's not LeBron's game.
It doesn't matter. LeBron...
That does matter. If the guy don't look at it the same way as Kobe, then it matters. He's thinking Kobe's stupid. This is not the best shot. And why would I take this shot?
And you know what? If you're the best player in the world and you want to be put on the same pedestal as Michael Jordan,
he don't go after that.
It doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. He don't look at it like that. He don't say, I want to be the best.
Then 2 years ago or 3, whenever it was the first time they played the Warriors, whenever they were down 3-2 and they needed to win to get it back, to where they could try to get it to Game 7, they asked LeBron about it, and he said, "I'm the best player in the world." That was his exact quote.
He is at this time. Well, he's not the greatest player ever.
Stop acting like LeBron has his humility. Because, yes, off the court he does. He's a great. There's maybe never been a better superstar off the court than LeBron James.
I don't know.
But
Tim Duncan's.
But on the court, LeBron is as pompous and as arrogant as anybody else.
I don't think he's Michael Jordan's level.
Well,
I do not think he's Michael Jordan's level.
It is what it is.
But anyway,
it's to my number 2. It's to my number 2. And this is where I have Kareem.
Okay.
Kareem is, I've called Kevin Durant the most lethal offensive weapon of all time. Before Durant had that title, it was Kareem.
Yes.
And it's because Kareem was just, for so long, he was...
Let me just say again, Skyhook.
For so long, he was just unstoppable.
Yes.
And this, talking about an upper 30s, early 40s-year-old man, he was your go-to guy.
Still was, yes.
Kareem was 41 years old and was an all-star.
Before we was talking about Magic, look at that championship he won where he played at center.
Yes.
I mean, that's a testament to his greatness.
Kareem hurt his ankle.
So, but that's neither not here nor there. But
that's my argument for Kareem.
Now, Kareem, I definitely like Kareem, and I've got him number 4. So I mean, I've got him 1 spot lower.
Okay.
Or no, 2 spots lower. He was in your number 2. So yes. My number 2 is LeBron, right? But I don't. When it comes to mindset and his drive, he's not even in the top 10 to me. When it comes to mindset and his drive, but when I look at him as a great player, it's the same reason the same way I look at Magic Johnson, is just their ability to do everything, and he's phenomenal at everything, and that's what I mean. His lowest aspect, you're going to say, is his defense. That's his lowest aspect, and it's still not garbage. He's still a great defender.
I'm going to say his lowest aspect is his shooting. He had a good shooting performance in the playoffs this year.
Well, but I'm not talking, when I say, because I'm looking at scoring, not necessarily shooting.
I understand.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm looking at each of them for what they are, like defense, scoring, rebounding, assists. You know what I'm saying? So, defense is probably his lowest when it comes to scoring. Or when it comes, when you're looking at it as scoring. If you're looking at shooting, that's his, and then defense. But, I mean, he can do everything, and he does it with the best of them. Every single category.
I don't want it to be perceived as an insult to LeBron that I have him at 5.
Anybody that's in this top 10, it is not an insult. It's just our personal opinions. But we realize the greatness is there. I want that clear. So, I guess we're moving on to number 1, and mine is Wilt.
Major contrast between where you had Wilt and I had Wilt.
Yes.
Major contrast.
Yes. And if I'm being completely honest, I could easily see Jordan moving to number 1 and LeBron falling to 7 or 8.
You're going to see Jordan move to number 1.
I know that. But, I mean, I'm just saying that is not I'm trying to think of the word. I got a little distracted, sorry. This is not like I'm just bashing Jordan. Not at all. I could easily see him at number 1. But I just love LeBron's game, and I love Wilt's game. And that's why they are 1 and 2. And Michael's right there behind him. I can't completely throw Michael down because they base his greatness off championships. If you're only looking at championships, Bill Russell's the greatest player ever. But I do see him as one of the greatest players ever. But Wilt is, to me, the greatest player ever. But I don't see the time frame as the advantage that everybody sees it is. I see his just physical ability and skill. And I think in whatever area you put him in, he's going to be great. And that's why he's number 1. And Michael Jordan, same way. I mean, LeBron's the same way. Whatever era they play in, they're going to be great.
On the hour, every hour. Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. And the only argument to that is the fact that he didn't play long enough to have all the accolades that he should have. Mike retired 3 times. And each time that he came back, of course, the first two, he came back. Now, the last time he didn't come back better. Even with the Wizards, he still averaged 20 a game.
Oh, yeah. I think if he played in today's game at 50-some-year-old, he's still going to average 15.
I don't know about that, but he would still.
I swear
he could still be on the court. It's just young legs are young legs. But with Mike, so much is, and that's his biggest. Exactly what you're saying is that Michael's greatness is based on 6 for 6.
Mm-hmm.
Michael was great before.
And that's what I said. I mean, if you take out 6 for 6, Michael's still, and that's what I'm doing in my list. I'm taking the 6 for 6 out, and I've still got him at number 3.
And Michael, he averaged 27 points a game as a rookie.
Yeah.
Michael was phenomenal. Michael once led the league in assists. Michael would do everything. Now, he's not going to have the assist and rebounding numbers that LeBron has. LeBron is 3 inches taller than him.
That don't matter with assists.
Well, it does with rebounds.
Well, look at point guards. John Stockton was 6'4".
It's a different play style.
I know. That's what I was going to say. It is a different play style.
But with LeBron could do everything. Michael.
I was going to let you go.
Michael could do everything on the offensive end. He would play point guard. He handled the ball more on his team. It's a lot like Kobe in that aspect, to where they were primary ball handlers. And then on the other side of the ball, if they didn't check down your best player, they were checking down your point guard.
Yeah.
To where they were just disrupting the offense from the get-go, even before Scottie Pippen. And yes, I understand he didn't win a playoff series until he had Scottie Pippen. Who cares? He had nobody else. The best teammate he had before Scottie Pippen was George Gervin, who was in his mid-30s.
But
give me a break.
That's what you're talking about, using that against LeBron.
I never mentioned that about LeBron.
You did, because we were counting the 2007 finals.
I did against many videos ago. Yes.
But I'm just saying.
But
okay, and if Michael's the same thing. I don't count that against Michael.
Well, if you want to go ahead and say, well, LeBron didn't have any help in the 2007 finals, well, guess what? LeBron also didn't play against Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas and Dominique Wilkins. So
no, but he played against Tim Duncan and
not in the Eastern Conference.
Kobe Bryant.
Not in the Eastern Conference portions of the playoffs.
Well, no, but that's why he made it to the finals and lost.
That Cavs team caught the Pistons at the end of their run whenever Ben Wallace had retired. It's before the Hawks got together and took off, and it's before the Magic took off.
Right, I agree.
That Piston team, and that was whenever Shaq was done. Wade had been hurt all year, come back at the start of the playoffs, and the Heat were just done. Shaq wasn't able to carry a team at that point.
No.
So that Cavalier team, it wasn't even the best Cavs team they had, but it was the perfect spot for LeBron to steal a spot to go to the finals.
Right.
It's just, you have to consider so much more to that. Jordan played in the Eastern Conference, arguably whenever the Eastern Conference was the best it ever was.
But, hang on. Just so you guys know, and so you fully understand, I'm not disputing you. I was just pulling for LeBron because we're using that against him. But I'm not saying that it's a knock against Jordan for not going at all.
And the teams that Jordan had the first three-peat, it was him and developing Scottie Pippen. Pippen got really good.
And Rodman.
No, Rodman wasn't there.
No, it was Horace Grant. Yeah.
And Horace Grant wasn't...
I mean, he was all-star caliber player, but...
Barely. At the bottom cusp of an all-star, if that. Horace Grant was a defender. He was in a very good mid-range shooter.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
Right.
That was... And Phil Jackson coaching. It's impossible to say this now because there's no way to know it. Jordan realistically could have won 8 straight titles. Houston,
if he stayed.
Houston has 2 titles to their credit.
Because Jordan retired. I agree.
Or Jordan was suspended. But have you ever heard that theory?
No, I don't care about theories.
Jordan was a massive gambling addict. And there's a lot of theory out there.
We're not doing this.
Whenever he retired the first time, it was a cover-up for suspension. Seriously.
You think it was?
No, not just me. A lot of people.
I know, but I'm just saying.
A lot of people with a lot more knowledge to the game think that.
I don't care.
I'm dead serious. And then, I mean, the second time, then
So why did he even go and play baseball?
72-10. Well, he said because he told his dad he would.
Yeah, I know.
And his dad had just got murdered.
I know. So
I can't.
If that's not the true story,
why
go play baseball? Anyway, we're not talking about theories.
I don't make the rules.
We're not talking about theories, guys.
6 titles, all 6 coming in. It's not that there was a title here,
No,
it was complete domination of the league.
Yes.
He did it. The second 3 were on teams that won 72, 69, and then whatever 98. Well,
that team.
Dennis Rodman didn't score. It was him and Pippen.
No. I'm not saying that.
Ron Harper was a really good player. Tony Kukoc was a really good player. But they're not. Ron Harper was awesome whenever he was young. He was a scorer. But at this point in their careers, they're role players.
Yes, definitely.
That's what they are. They're role players.
Yeah, you had a solid starter in Rodman, a great player in Pippen. Them people out there, you may be one of them that say that Pippen's not a 50 greatest player of all time. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I'll agree with you that he's a 50 greatest player of all time.
Yes.
But it's because he played with Michael.
Some of it, but Michael won his championships as well because he played with Scotty. So you can't discount one or the other. I don't agree with that. Scottie Pippen was great, but that Bulls team was great. And a lot of it, I'm going to give 70% credit to Michael, 20% credit to Pippen, and then 10% to the rest of the team.
Let me give 90% credit to the 33-year-old guy that was scoring 30 a night.
How good that team was? You're going to give 90% credit to Michael?
I don't remember what Jordan averaged in 98, but in 96
I don't care about their averages. If we're looking at averages, LeBron gets 90% credit of every team he's been on. I don't give.
He wasn't even the leading scorer for the Cavs this past season.
Scoring is not everything.
I understand, but
so he gets more of that credit. I mean, he does everything.
The Cavs are nothing without LeBron. I understand that, and I acknowledge that.
Right, but here's what I got to do. I got to cut you off. We're rolling at 41 minutes. So, guys, I extremely apologize for this video. I said it was going to be long, and Perry really don't want to end this argument, but we have to at some point. So this video is a very long one. I do apologize. But as always, thank you for watching. And this, like I said in the beginning of the video, was a phenomenal arguing point and a phenomenal video to make. Right? I had a lot of fun making it.
He's due for his drug test.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and punch that like button. Hit that subscribe. And then we'll see you guys in the next video. Toodaloo!